Hey everyone, welcome back to Edgeverse. Or if you're new here, welcome. Imagine this. You're standing in an ancient Egyptian temple. The air is thick with mysterious, intoxicating smoke. It smells divine, literally. That fragrance isn't just making the place smell nice. It's quietly telling your brain, the gods are here. The pharaoh is in charge. Everything is in order. Today we're diving deep into one of the most fascinating and honestly, kind of mind-blowing secrets of ancient Egypt. How they turned simple incense into a weapon of power, control, and divine connection that lasted for thousands of years. If you've ever wondered why scent hits you so differently than sights or sounds, stick around. By the end of this video, you'll never smell incense the same way again. Let's get into it. First things first, why incense? In our world, it's mostly for relaxation or covering up bad smells. But in ancient Egypt, from around 300 BCE all the way to the Greek and Roman periods, incense was infrastructure. It was as essential to running the kingdom as the Nile, taxes, or the army. The Egyptians believed that when you burned incense, the smoke literally carried your prayers up to the gods. It wasn't a metaphor, it was real technology to them. Priests were like divine technicians, and incense was their Wi-Fi to the heavens. Every single day, temples followed a strict schedule. Frankincense in the morning to greet the sun god Ra, myrrh at midday when the sun was strongest, and in the evening, the superstar, Kyphi. Kyphi was no ordinary incense. It was a crazy complex blend, up to 16 ingredients: raisins, wine, honey, frankincense, myrrh, and more, prepared with rituals and magic spells. It smelled incredible, but it also healed asthma, freshened breath, treated snake bites, and purified homes. Kyphi was luxury, medicine, and sacrament all in one. And here's where it gets interesting. The key ingredients, frankincense and myrrh, didn't grow in Egypt. They came from far away, in the Horn of Africa, a place the Egyptians called Punt. That meant the pharaoh controlled the supply completely. Massive state expeditions, like the famous one led by Queen Hatshepsut, brought back entire trees dripping with resin. She plastered pictures of it all over her temple walls because getting that incense wasn't just trade, it was proof of her power. Think about it. If you control the only substance that lets people talk to the gods, you control religion. If priests need your incense to do their job, you control the priests. And if only the elite can smell like gods, you control status. That's exactly what happened. Royalty and high priests smelled amazing, rich, exotic, divine. Common people? They got whatever cheap local herbs they could find. So before you even saw someone's fancy clothes or gold jewelry, you smelled their rank. Scent became an invisible class marker. Now, let's talk about why this worked so well on the human brain. Modern science backs up what the Egyptians figured out through thousands of years of trial and error. Smell goes straight to the parts of your brain that control emotion and memory. It skips the thinking part altogether. When you walked into a temple filled with frankincense and myrrh, your brain didn't just register nice smell. It instantly felt awe, calm, submission, the perfect mood for accepting that the pharaoh was basically a living god. Rhetorical question time. Have you ever walked into a place and immediately felt relaxed because of how it smelled? That's the same mechanism, just weaponized on a civilization-wide scale. Over a lifetime, Egyptians were conditioned. Temple equals sacred smoke equals gods, our watching equals pharaoh speaks for the gods equals obey. And it wasn't just temples. Incense structured time itself. 3 daily burnings across the entire country synchronized everyone, priests, villagers, even distant towns. It was like a national clock made of scent. But was all this cynical manipulation? Not entirely. The pharaohs and priests genuinely believed in the gods. The rituals felt real because they were real to them. And for ordinary Egyptians, stepping into that fragrant temple probably gave genuine comfort, hope, and connection to something bigger. The genius is that it worked on every level at once. Spiritual truth for believers, psychological control for rulers, economic monopoly for the state. Compare it to other ancient power tools. Armies are expensive and scary. Taxes make people angry. Giant pyramids impress, but you have to look at them. Incense. It's invisible, pleasant, and works directly on your emotions. You don't resist it because it feels good and holy. That's why the system lasted so long. Over 3,000 years of stability. And here's the wild part. We still do this today. Walk into a luxury store. Why does it smell so specific? That's deliberate. Brands pump signature scents to make you feel wealthy, relaxed, ready to spend. Hotels, casinos, even hospitals use scent to shape how you feel. Expensive perfume still signals status. Churches and temples still burn incense. We're running the same playbook the Egyptians perfected millennia ago. So next time you light incense for meditation or smell something that instantly changes your mood, ask yourself, who benefits from me feeling this way right now? Ancient Egypt shows us that the most powerful control isn't force. It's the stuff we don't even notice. All right, that's it for today. This topic absolutely blew my mind while researching it. I hope it did the same for you. If you enjoyed this deep dive into ancient power and psychology, hit that like button, drop a comment below. Have you ever noticed scent changing your mood without you realizing? And if you're new here, subscribe and ring the bell. We're exploring more hidden histories every week. Thanks for watching, stay curious, and I'll see you in the next one.